Today is the morning of 24th of May, which is a huge public holiday here in Bulgaria because we're celebrating the Bulgarian alphabet. So I have a little bit of spare time and I decided to explore this new feature of YouTube about vertical lives, which is basically a live stream in vertical position. I'm doing this from my smartphone, so I have no idea if the quality is gonna be good enough, but let's give it a try and see if it's worth doing such kind of things in future. I have no idea how much this live stream, what is going to be the duration of this live stream. Is just something that I'm experimenting with. Maybe the quality won't be that good as well. We're gonna see. The topic today is actually this way here, ThinkPad X13 Generation 1. This is a laptop that was released on the market at the end of 2020 and it was in production until 2021. This one particularly has been manufactured in September 2020, so it's a bit more than 4 years old, 4 years and a half old. ThinkPad X13 Generation 1 with Intel i5 CPU and 8 gigabytes of RAM. There are different models. There are also models with more RAM, of course, or with i7 processors, or even with AMD from the same generation. Um, so it's very compact. The interesting thing about X13 is that actually it has the same motherboard as ThinkPad T14S Generation 1. So the difference between this one and X13 and T14S is the screen size. This laptop X13 is with a screen size of 13.3 inches, while the 14S Generation 1 is with a 14-inch screen. So let's quickly explore it. On the side we have this is a USB-C for powering. Actually it's Thunderbolt 3 as well. There are two USB-C ports that are Thunderbolt capable, Thunderbolt 3 capable over here. Next to it there is another very specific port. This laptop doesn't have an Ethernet connector. That's the problem. It's a trade-off because it's a very small laptop and it's very thin, so there is no Ethernet connector. So if you want to use the network capabilities with a network Ethernet connector, you have to buy an extender and plug it over here. These extenders are a little specific and a little bit expensive. I don't have such an extender right now, but what you can do is also to get USB to Ethernet dongle and do the same if you insist on having an Ethernet cable. Typical USB type A here, HDMI. The HDMI is really convenient, especially if you are trying to present with this. X13 is very light, it's easy to carry it around, so you can go to the office with it, you can go traveling with it, you can go to conferences. A lot of people like using it for work when they have to deal with machines because it's very light and easy to carry it around. So the HDMI is useful if you want to attach an external monitor. Of course, you can also attach a docking station to the Thunderbolt USB-C ports, which is the better option if you want the full experience with several monitors, keyboard, mouse, and everything. Actually, I'm using a new generation of X1 with a docking station on a daily basis. This is just a computer that I bought for fun. Actually, I bought several of these. And finally, on this side, of course, we have the audio jack. So what we have on the other side, not that exciting, a Kensington lock. I've never used this, but it's good to lock your laptop. I think people are using this primarily when they're in the office and they have to leave their desk, so they can lock the laptop and make sure nobody comes in and breaks or takes the laptop while it's unattended. Well, actually, they can break it, but at least nobody can steal it that easily. Next to it, we've got another USB port. So basically what we have is a USB port, one USB port on that side, here another one on that side, and two USB-C ports. In total we have 4 ports. Right. The other thing that we've got here is the smart card reader. Just like on T14S Generation 1, this X13 Generation 1 has speakers on the bottom. So based on my experience with T14S, this is a little bit kind of a disadvantage. The sound isn't that good because basically you are hearing the sound from the bottom of the laptop, not from the top of it. So that's a bit awkward, but it's a decent sound. I don't think that you buy this laptop for optimal sound anyway. Very light. It's a good deal right now. I bought this from eBay and it was a great deal. Pretty decent laptop. Can you guess from which country I bought it? I see that there are some commands coming out. So the keyboard can give you a hint. Here we got the big enter key. So one of the things that actually is really nice about X13 is that you can easily change the keyboard. Actually, I've already did it on X13 and I recorded a video, but I haven't finalized it. Hopefully soon it will appear on my channel. So this one is from the UK. If anyone of you has thought that this is a UK keyboard, yes, you're right. It's a UK keyboard and it's bought from the United Kingdom. So we have this big enter. Otherwise, it's quite similar to the US keyboards. There are a few keys that are on different positions, like this one, and you don't see the here. This key is also different, but in general, quite similar if you use the USB keyboard, and it can be easily swapped because you don't need to disassemble the whole laptop. All you need to do is to replace the keyboard from the top part. So let's put it over here. Now I'm gonna try to switch the cameras. Let's see if this works. Okay, I think you can see it, right? Turned on the power supply here. ABC power supply, you can see it, all right. Now let's turn this thing. Typically I use it with Linux distributions. I'm an Ubuntu user, but this is not the case for this laptop here. Because I just bought it and it comes with Microsoft Windows 11 Pro, something like this. I have no intention to use Microsoft Windows, so one of the very first things that we're gonna do with this laptop is to get rid of this Windows and get a proper operating system, which means a Linux distribution. There are so many different Linux distributions that you can use. Ubuntu 24.04, the long-term support release of Ubuntu, will work perfectly fine on this laptop. So I'm not interested in Windows. So I'm gonna open the command prompt and I'm gonna run a command as an administrator. The command prompt on Windows looks ridiculously awful. I mean, oh my god, what's going on here? Anyway, so the whole point here is that at the beginning, if you saw, there was this Lenovo logo, but I was not able to log into the Lenovo menu with diagnostics, BIOS, and so on. So this is because a quick boot has been enabled, and from Windows there is a magical command that will allow me, hopefully I remember it, that will allow me to shut down and restart the computer in a way that we're gonna see this sign, press enter to enter the BIOS menu, and I'm gonna hopefully enter this, and I'll be able to run some diagnostics and have a look at the technical details, the technical specifications of this laptop. So the only thing that I'm going to do here in Windows is to execute this command. Hopefully it's right. I'm not a Windows user, so I might be wrong, but no, I think I got it properly. So now the computer is restarting. There's a command to delete the Windows. Yeah, that's on my plan. Actually, the plan is to upgrade this computer with solid state drive with a bigger capacity, because it came with just 128 gigabytes, which is ridiculously small for nowadays standards. Probably it's okay to do some work, but in general. So now you see this sign. I had very quickly to press and enter. And now here is the menu. Escape to resume normal startup, F1 to press the BIOS setup utility, F10 to show regulatory information, and F10 to diagnose the hardware. That's what we're gonna do. I've pressed F10. So there are 21 tests. Now I'm loading all of them. Here we go. So there is a test for the storage, for the battery, for the display, for the keyboard, for the mouse, for the sensors, motherboard, fan, CPU, memory. Let's test the display. There are many tests that we can run. So let's see how we can fit the whole screen like this, I guess. Okay, pressing C to confirm. The entire screen will be red. Check to see if any pixels are not red in color. After checking your screen, click touch or press any key to continue. Here we go. It's red, by the way. I'm having a nice cup of tea with my open source hardware Summit glass. Have a look at it here. Okay, so the red is okay. It has been painted correctly. Now blue. Now blue is okay as well. Yes. Green. No, the pixels. It's actually, this display is pretty fine. It's painted correctly. Now black. There's some marks on the screen, very tiny mark over here from the keyboard. This is something typical that happens with ThinkPads, but you can barely notice it. And when you're working on the laptop, it doesn't cause any pain. It's totally fine. So I would say that this is a perfect screen. Considering that it's a 4+ years old laptop, of course. Now the white, I think it's okay. No dot pixels. Oh no, okay, let's do the black rectangles. All right, looks good. Lines, rectangles, and circles will be painted on your screen. Wow, all right. Looks good. Tiny figures will be displayed on my screen. Oh my god, all right. All right, I'm not sure if this looks okay on the camera, but it looks pretty fine on the screen. Three features will be displayed on your screen for determining if your monitor is properly aligned and set to the correct resolution. Make sure the colors red, green, and blue hands displayed from dark to bright. All right. To make sure that the crosses are aligned, clear, and not blurry, make sure that the resolution lines at the bottom portion of the screen are in alignment, clear, and not blurry. Okay. All right. So these lines over here. Perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. Now let's test the battery. The battery is something that typically breaks on laptops over time. It's something that you are supposed to be able to change. Here the battery is inside, so you have to remove the bottom plate in order to get to the battery. Let's try out and see if the battery is good. Yeah, temperature test. All right. Oh, good. I have a Oh, okay, I have a mouse here as well. I always forget that I have a mouse here. The Lenovo Diagnostics is a firmware feature very specific for ThinkPads. That's why I love ThinkPads. It's a premium feature where you can test your hardware without even having an operating system. It doesn't matter what is the operating system. I'm typically Linux user. I'm using Ubuntu, as I've mentioned, and you have seen it in my other videos. But this particular computer came with Windows 11 Pro. It's still with Windows 11 Pro, of course. Uh, I'm gonna change it at some point to Linux because Linux is a superior and far more convenient operating system, especially for professional software development. So the battery is fine. It's charging right now. It's not fully charged. The capacity is pretty decent. All tests passed, so it's good. The temperature test also passed. All right, what we can test? What else can we test? Let me know in the comments if you are interested in something specific. So the storage, maybe the CPU, right? The CPU will be nice. I prefer, tapping with the keys as it's faster. All right, there are a lot of tests. Let's start with them, and if they're too slow, we're gonna stop them. So far, there were very quick tests that all passed. Now we're progressing with the cache. Let me switch the camera. Okay, here we go. So now I'm waiting for this test to pass. It's 60%. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. I see that there are several people watching and adding comments. That's really important for me. First time doing a vertical live stream, so I don't know what to expect. I hope this video will be kind of fun. I anyway needed to do this type of tests on the computer. Okay, the CPU test is done. Let's have a look at it. Everything is fine. We have a QR code here. Let's have a look at the details. Everything passed. 35 seconds. It's a quite quick test. So here are the details. So here is the exact CPU model, i5 10th generation. The first two digits here means that this is 10th generation. So this is a CPU that was released on the market in 2020, 5 years old. CPU, the computer itself was this particular computer, generation 1 of X13, was announced on the market in 2020 as well, at the end of the year, and it was manufactured until 2021, so it's like 4 to 5 years old computer, depending on the unit that you have. So this computer is available with AMD CPUs and Intel CPUs. Somehow I'm an Intel guy. I wouldn't say that I'm a huge Intel fan, but I like Intel. For many years I have been using Intel, so this one is also with Intel. There are several i5 CPUs that are available in X13 generation 1, and I think this is the one running at the most modest speed. The other are more powerful, running at higher frequency, but it's fine. I mean, these computers, typically these are business computers, especially when you have a Linux distribution, like even Ubuntu, which is not a lightweight Linux distribution, works great on a computer like this. So everything is fine. Let's go back. So one of the most important actually tests is the fan, because if the fan doesn't work, this means that you can fry your CPU. We have been using this computer for quite some time, so obviously the fan is fine, but let's do a quick test. There are some commands coming in. Thank you very much for adding your commands. IRGeek says, always liked ThinkPads with AMD processors. Haven't had one for the last 5 years. Wondering if they're still high quality. Thanks. All right, this is something that I don't have personal experience with, to be honest, because as I told you, I have so many ThinkPads, and all of them are actually with Intel CPUs. It's not something that I have done intentionally. So it's I just found the Intel CPU, the ThinkPads with Intel CPUs at better price, and that's how it goes. But nowadays, I think have changed. If you buy in the latest generations of ThinkPads, you're gonna see two major changes compared to what we see here with this ThinkPad that is 4 years old. Number one, there are more and more ThinkPads with AMD CPUs. So the high-end ThinkPads are actually with AMD CPUs, and that totally makes sense because with a Ryzen you can get a top performance. What is the second thing that has changed recently? Well, it is a major change in the industry. Since 2024, there are ARM laptops on the market, including ThinkPads with ARM CPU. This is actually a trend that was started by Apple with the MacBooks with the M1 CPUs that were designed based on the ARM architecture. Um, this worked really well for Apple, but Apple has the advantage that they have this integrated approach where they have both the hardware and the software manufactured by them. For other vendors, it's slightly different because, for example, with this ThinkPad, you buy the ThinkPad out of the box. It comes with Windows, although we can buy also ThinkPads that come out of the box with Linux, I believe. But anyway, it comes with a software that's made by someone else, so there's so many different components involved. So in 2024, the PC industry catched up with the MacBooks, and now we have a lot of computers coming on the market with ARM CPUs, which are made by Qualcomm. Qualcomm at the moment seems to be the leading company manufacturing ARM CPUs for laptops. Is this going to be something that will remain over time? You never know, but I think that ARM laptops are here to stay. They have the advantage to have far better battery life. So if you're not looking for performance, the ARM ThinkPads and other brands actually with Qualcomm CPUs are probably a good fit. Of course, the software has to catch up. There are a lot of glitches in the software right now in these early days. But yeah, I think that in long term, we'll see more and more ARM laptops. And if you're looking for a powerful high-end laptop, probably you have to go with AMD. Yeah. So definitely ThinkPads. In my opinion, I'm kind of a ThinkPad guy, so probably not the best opinion. And I have to tell you the truth. I don't have hands-on experience with enough laptops to say that this is more solid than the other. But I think my personal opinion is that ThinkPads are still solid. And nowadays, if I have to buy a laptop, probably I'll of course have a look at the other brands and other models because um, there are always interesting things coming on. But probably I would start looking if I have to buy a new laptop, high-end laptop. I'll start looking first from the ThinkPad models. After that, of course, compare with other brands. So let's switch the camera again, and here we are. The fan test is also okay. This is in my other videos. I have told you this numerous occasions. The Lenovo Diagnostics is a feature of the firmware that's unique for ThinkPads, and it's great because you can do this type of diagnostics, especially if you buy a second-hand laptop, which is the case with this one, X13. You can quickly see if the laptop is actually performing well. You can run these basic tests for a few minutes, and you can inspect it. So let's go home. No. Let's do the keyboard test. Okay, so do you know what is this? PS/2, PS2. This is something that it's a legacy thing, you know. Before USB in the 90s. When I was a kid, I remember buying a computer that had this port, PS2 port. So it's some kind of a granddaddy um, of the USB. The major difference is that it's not plug and play, so you have to plug the keyboard and the mouse to the PS2 port before turning on the computer to work fine. Of course, with a laptop, this works far better because the keyboard is integral part of the laptop. You're not supposed to use a laptop without the keyboard, right? So on the CPU, on the Intel CPUs, there are special pins for the PS2 communication, and to these pins we have the keyboard connected. So let's do a quick test here of the keyboard. See, I'm typing in, and you can see how this marks. I think it looks good, you know. So the key that I press gets red, and after that it gets gray with this version of the firmware. So the funny thing is that what you see here in the test, on the test, is actually a US keyboard, and I am using a UK keyboard as I explained at the beginning of this video. So for example, Z is here, right? So the backslash is next to Z, and I press it like I press this button and it gets here. So that's the difference between the US and the UK keyboards. Everything looks okay. Actually, I didn't test the page up, page down. The function keys, right? So the function keys, that's an interesting thing. It's a feature that you can enable in the BIOS. By default, they are using the second row of the function keys. So this can be changed, of course, but if I have to test the function key, I have to press the FN key and see, like, all right, everything works. Home and delete. All right, perfect. Keyboard is fine. Let's get out of it here. I have to press 3 times escape very quickly. Yes, I want to exit. Did your keys work correctly? Yeah, everything was perfect. Okay. All right. Okay, let's do this sensors test. Lid sensor device, accelerometer device. Let's confirm and start. This test will be done in 2 steps. First, you have 10 seconds to close the laptop lid, all right, like this. Second, you have 10 seconds to open the laptop slips. If any steps takes longer than the established time, the test will present invalid results. Let's get it started. Whoop. Okay, I've closed it. Now I'm opening it. And here we go. The test has passed. Accelerometer. Please leave the device resting over a flat surface. Moving the device may cause the test to fail, so I will not touch it. Right? All right, what happened here? Not applicable? Yeah, okay. All right. That's a bit surprised. Anyway, this live stream has been going for almost half an hour, far more than I expected initially. So let's have a look at the system information. Here we go, the machine type model, ThinkPad X13 Generation 1, as I told you, serial number, BIOS information. Oh. The CPU, we've already tested the CPU, so we know that. So the memory is soldered. That's something that I didn't mention. So at the beginning of the video, I told you that the ThinkPad X13 Generation 1 and ThinkPad T14S Generation 1 have the same main board. So you can actually swap and use these main boards for spare parts if you have both X13 generation 1 and the 14 S generation 1. So one important remark is that the RAM is soldered on the main board. Nowadays the computers are more like embedded devices because both the CPU and the RAM are soldered. This is not the case for all ThinkPads, but when you have a slimmer version of ThinkPad like X13 or as I mentioned, the 14S, the RAM is soldered. If you buy another laptop like T14 without the S, the bigger version of T14, which I really like, then you have for generation 1, you have this option to plug an extra memory stick for the RAM. However, even on T14, part of the RAM is soldered. So this check of the memory means that we've got this memory of just 8 gigabytes of RAM with DDR4, which is soldered on the main board, and it cannot be easily upgraded. Actually, it's I would rather say it's not upgradable at all, because you need a very good equipment and soldering skills if you want to desolder and solder new RAM chips. So the short answer here is that if you're buying an X13, I highly recommend you to make sure you're buying it with enough RAM. I'm speaking about generation 1, the particular model that we're exploring in this video. So buy it with enough RAM, make sure it has enough RAM for your needs, because it's not upgradable. So here is now a little bit of information about the motherboard. We already had a look at the ports at the beginning of the video, so this is nothing that interesting actually. What's more on the big board? Storage. Okay, storage. I told you it's with a small storage, so probably one of the good things to upgrade in this particular computer is to upgrade the storage, because it's really small right now. Okay, so let's exit the application now. Now the laptop reboots. I'm going to interrupt again. I've quickly pressed enter. All right, so last time I pressed F10 to choose this hardware diagnostics tool. Now I'm going to press F1 actually. So I'm going to enter BIOS. Entering BIOS setup. So here we go. This is the BIOS display. So here is the thing. Have a look how this BIOS looks. It's with a graphical user interface. There is a mouse and so on. But from the left menu, we can select config. Then we can go to setup UI over here, and we can switch from graphical to simple text. This is a little bit old school. Then we have to save and exit. I can press F10, but here with the graphical user interface for the BIOS, I can also use the mouse. Save configurations and exit, yes. So now the computer reboots again, and we will go through the same procedure, which means that I have to press enter again. I'm going to press it, F1 again, and we're going to see the change in the configuration that I just did. Wait for a second. Entering BIOS setup. So here we go. Oh, and you see, it's simple text. So which one do you like more? This one or the one that is with a fancy graphical interface? It's obviously a matter of taste. Some people prefer the more modern thing with the mouse, the fancy graphical interface. Other people like this very old school simple text interface. The good thing about it is that just using the keyboard, you can quickly go through all the menus. So if you know what you're doing, this could be faster. Let's switch back to graphical. there is no mouse here, so I have to press F10 for real. Uh, okay, I pressed it. So this is the difference between the simple text and the graphical user interface, because with the graphical user interface you have the mouse. Now let's enter it again to see that I've reverted. Here we go. And now if everything is back, I should be reverted to a graphical user interface. This is one of the hidden gems of the Lenovo ThinkPads. With most of the new models that I've seen on the market, you can do this switch from simple text to a graphical user interface. I'm not sure when this became available, so if you know at what firmware version, around which year Lenovo introduced this option to have both the graphical and the simple text options for the BIOS, please let me know below in the comments. I hope that some people will be watching actually this live stream once it's over, so I'll be keeping an eye on the comments. So let's switch again the camera. Here we go, and now we're back in the graphical configuration. Okay, and as I mentioned, it's Thunderbolt 4. New generations of ThinkPads are with Thunderbolt 4. Sorry, so this one is with Thunderbolt 3. New generations are with Thunderbolt 4. I have one ThinkPad that I'm using on a daily basis with Intel i5 12th generation. This one is with 10th generation. The one that I'm using on a daily basis with 12th generation, and the one with 12th generation. 12th generation Intel i5 CPU is with Thunderbolt 4. I have a long video about the Thunderbolt 4 universal dock from Lenovo for ThinkPads, specifically for ThinkPads, and it works really great. Okay, so I think that's it. We had a quick look. It was actually, we spent more than half an hour, so it was not that quick. So we had a look at the hardware of this ThinkPad, of the available ports, and we've entered the diagnostics. We run some basic tests. Now you know how to run basic tests on your ThinkPad. I showed you this for ThinkPad X13 Generation 1, but I told you it's the same port like T14S Generation 1, so basically the tests are the same. However, if you have a ThinkPad from a similar generation, you have the same firmware, no matter if that the hardware will be different, you have the same firmware and can run the same tests. So I hope this is going to be informative and helpful if you are a ThinkPad owner and you are looking to run some tests. Wow, thank you for IRGeek. I think this is the very first time that someone donates $2 to this channel. This is amazing. I'll have a cup of coffee. Thank you very much. This was very unexpected. I'm a software developer, so I'm doing these type of videos just for fun, and I'm always amazed that people actually watch them. That's thank you very much for your time. I hope this is not boring, and it's fantastic to see that people like this type of content, you know. Okay, I think I've managed to hit the like button. So please leave a comment below. Let me know if you like this type of live streams. I'm gonna try to make a few more in the coming days to see if actually people like them. I have in mind a few other topics that are more technical, but with the ThinkPad it was easier to get started. And I have a huge collection of ThinkPads, so I can show you around some of the other ThinkPads. For example, here on this table, we've got quite a lot of ThinkPads that are waiting their moment to come. I'm afraid this is becoming kind of a problem for me. I'm buying too many ThinkPads, but I like them. They're good machines. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for new videos, especially the longer videos with this vertical live with this vertical live streams. Is something new that probably I'll experiment in the coming months, and we'll see if people like them. I may spend more time doing them. So thank you very much again. Now I'll try to stop the live stream, and hopefully see you soon again. Bye bye.